Hello, this is War on Maps. I am Arez, and this is part 5 of Every Country Goes to War Once. So, so we left off with something that looks a little something like this. The major superpower of the United States is now fighting alongside the major powers in Europe, some major powers in Asia, and some minor powers. And how is it turning out for Russia and China? Really horribly. As you can see, Russia is getting plummeted almost as much as they did in World War II. And if you haven't remembered, there were like encirclements happening everywhere around Russia. So they look kind of bad. And so let's just jump right into it. So last video we saw the surrender of Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, and they allow troops to enter China and Russia. So they now start entering Russia and push along the border. And that's a big blow to Russia because now they have more fronts to worry about. And also they're also in the Western Front. Moscow is I think on the brink of capture, but the Allies didn't manage to capture that. To capture Moscow, they managed to siege it. So now Russia's government is in real trouble. So they ordered a full send of troops to reconnect Moscow and push back the Allies, which went successful, but at the cost of losing some ground, Central Asia. And so they did manage to push back the Allies, but at a humongous land lost inside Central Asia and south and north of the Caucasus region. And so Russia is losing this severely, especially when Japan during the war got their claims over Sakhalin, started raiding Japanese defenses. Russian defenses in this area. But those raids were eventually taken out because there's a ton of Russian defenses here. But the problem with the Russian defenses there is that they got severely damaged by the Japanese forces. And in China's coastline has officially been completely captured. So now they really are in trouble. So they start massively conscripting, every single person that has to go, and they managed to push the Allies out of Kashmir and push them back in the Beijing region. And they also helped Russia push back the Japanese. And now they have a border with North Korea. And now there's a new siege on Moscow and smaller encirclement. But the siege in Moscow is the entire Russian military just being there. So if you count the entire Russian military, it might be probably enough to hold out. And that's a couple million citizens that are safe. But otherwise, Russia is losing severely because the military isn't there. There's only some military in this region, and there's a ton of military, and the rest of the military is sieged, and Russia is showing very little resistance because their entire military is in one place. So eventually they're getting pushed back so much. And Moscow gets captured. And that's pretty much the entire Russian population. And to make things worse, Japan insisted on having some more raids over, and these ones were very successful, capturing large Russian and Chinese areas with some South Korean and Taiwanese help, and also some Filipino help. They did that. But now India wants to get back its Kashmir stuff, and they did. And now they're just pushing around the Nepal and Bhutan. So, yeah, this isn't looking too good for China either. Even though they have mass conscripted, India has been doing that too. So now they're getting pushed back. But Russia looks a lot more like on the brink of collapse, a lot more than China. As you can see, the entire population, like most of the population has been captured, because remember, there's some population here that was captured. So yeah, this isn't looking too good for Russia. And they keep on getting pushed back. Not that there's that much resistance. The entire military had to surrender in Moscow. Wait, no, that's not Moscow. Moscow is here. The entire military had to surrender in Moscow, which made it pretty weak. So, and then there's Japan pushing around China and the Russian defenses that have been severely damaged by previous raids. So after capturing Manchuria and reaching Mongolia, Mongolia surrenders and Manchuria falls. And then eventually more and more Chinese areas are captured until Beijing. And China does not surrender yet, but they really can't survive. So eventually they're pushed back to the region of nothingness of China. So now China has finally surrendered, and followed by that is Russia. And the war is over, or is it? Yeah, Afghanistan decides to join it, because you all know how invading Afghanistan goes. So, because all the troops are not positioned in Central Asia, in Pakistan, they are very easily pushing around, liberating Tajikistan and part of Kyrgyzstan, some of Uzbekistan, some of Turkmenistan, some of Iran, some of Pakistan, parts of China. But this time they have like the entire world against them. So they are easily, after the West figures out what they're doing, gets used to start sending their troops there, Afghanistan eventually begins to fall pretty quickly. And yeah. And so we have a border like this left. And I don't know how this would go, but Afghanistan eventually falls, which is something history has told us would never happen. But it happens because literally you have the entire West against you. So now we're going to look at the peace treaty, and let's go make everybody neutral. And let's see what the peace deal is. And you know, of course, the US will get some oil out of this, because the US loves oil. So does every country that actually has a very big economy. Like China. China is very dependent on oil, and guess who's been stopping them from getting oil? So yeah, China is in a humongous economic crisis. Like it's like super huge. It's like the entire economy of it is gone. And the peace deal I'm pretty sure you could see what's gonna happen. So Japan gets this island and these islands that Russia stole. And they cannot show that because, yeah, you know. And of course you saw this coming. I know you saw this coming in this war. North Korea gets annexed by South Korea. And Taiwan gets unified with China. And now it's just Taiwanese government in there. And now China has to remove these claims of India. India gets their claims over Kashmir because that's the whole reason they fought this war. So they get their Pakistani claim, which is around like that. Not that much. This isn't exact, but it's close enough. And then they get their Chinese claim, which is around that. And yeah, so I'm not going to fix those dotted dots, but now let's just get India. Let's give India what they fought for. No, not like that. So now India looks a lot bigger, I guess. So yeah, and now there's the West has made Russia and China be Western democracies, making them the West a lot stronger than the East. And also Iran gets, of course, you saw this coming. It gets fully annexed by guess who? It's this big boy. So yeah. Also, Russia has to release Ukraine with some, and that is not Ukraine, it just looks like it. It just looks close enough, I guess. And yeah, and Russia also has to take their troops out of Georgia. Georgia gets a little bit out of this. Azerbaijan gets a little bit out of this. For their size, that's a lot, but in real life, that's very little. So after getting that, Azerbaijan gets a tiny bit out of Armenia, like this. They get connected with their Escalave. Iran doesn't lose anything except being, and I guess they do lose their sovereignty. They get completely annexed by. What the heck is that? I need to fix that a tiny bit. Yeah, that looks weird. I'm just gonna fix it. It's just gonna be like a round straight line. There we go. So after Ukraine gets released, it gets a Western government. China gets a Western government. Mongolia gets a Western government. Every country that was not fully annexed but gets a Western government. That means you too. You're also Western now. And now the East basically does not exist. But of course, I did not do every country yet. Oh, also Serbia got a Western government. And of course, I didn't do every country yet, so this is gonna be very, very. And yes, so if you guys noticed a country that I did not do and you want me to do them next, then you should write it in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out since this is the very beginning of this channel. And don't worry, we aren't done. I was kidding. Now there's going to be a random war happening. Actually, it's not that random. It's pretty foreseeable. Pretty foreseeable. Let's get blue. Let's get red. And let's just make sure nobody got colored in. Okay. And it's going to be between, of course, Greece and Turkey. Turkey decided to invade Greece because they don't like Greece, but now Greece has the way superior navy, but Turkey has the superior army. And Greece has like by far naval superiority over all the entire Turkish coast, with also all these islands belonging to Greece. So it really probably isn't going to turn out so well for, guess who? Turkey. But in the beginning, Turkey begins their invasion of Greece. Greece gets an ally, and that is Bulgaria. And also North Macedonia joins this because they know they're going to have to join a war sometime. So they decide, why not just do it right away? So now with these two countries, Greece manages to push out the Turks and also make an advance toward Istanbul. But now Turkey starts pumping their troops in there, and that is a very horrible idea. Even though they're protecting Istanbul, that is a very horrible idea because now it allows many Greek landings because they own all these islands right off Turkey's coast. So tons and tons of naval landings have been made. And the Mediterranean, most of the Mediterranean coast has been captured by Greece. And Turkey is not looking too good. So they call in an ally, and that is Azerbaijan, also called Georgia. But still, these two combined are not even close to equal to like Bulgaria. They are by far stronger than North Macedonia. But now Greece managed to encircle a lot of troops, though that's like a ton of troops, so they managed to break through it temporarily, because now Bulgaria and Greece are sending their troops here, that then managed to redo that. And now a spearhead is being made towards the capital. I think it's like Ottawa. No, that's Canada, but it's like right here, so it's pretty close to being captured. But then the Turks start conscripting, and they have managed to push them back and nearly ended the encirclement. But because they have naval superiority in the Black Sea, like this is all Turkish, they are able to supply these troops here. But either way, this encirclement has been strengthened again, and then reversed, and then strengthened, and then reversed many, many times over. But eventually it got really close, but then the Turks built a stone wall, and yeah, and now the Turks managed to push the Macedonians and Bulgarians out of their country, out of the European portion, started pushing into Bulgarian parts of Greece. But now they have gotten re-encircled, and then had to be set there, meaning they could get pushed back, and then they had to break it, and then be sent right back there. And then this happens a ton of times over until finally Istanbul has finally been captured, and these troops are required to surrender. And with that, many more naval landings are made up over the Turkish coast. These two are very well trying to help their Turkish ally out a bit. They're just sending all their troops there. Bad mistake, because now this places naval superiority by the blue team, because the Bosporus Strait is now controlled, and there's now 2 naval landings in Georgia, which eventually are to actually connect, take over the Black Sea coast of Georgia, push around the Black Sea coast of Turkey, and eventually capture it, and link with and link with the main military. So yeah. And with that, even Israel joins in on this because they want to get some land out of this. And because Israel is a very strong country facing a country that's about to collapse, they managed to push towards the capital and capture it. And also get linked up with this front, splitting Turkey into two, and Turkey surrenders. And of course, in the peace deal, North Macedonia gets nothing out of this because they barely contributed anything. These guys are just left alone. But Turkey is getting hit hard. This European portion of Turkey is being split between Greece and Bulgaria, though Turkey is allowed to keep Istanbul, but it's only a matter of time before this thing happens all over again, because Turkey's going to try to militarize very quickly and then start invading again. And Israel gets some out of this, not a lot, because they joined at the very end. They get actually a lot compared to everyone else, but because there's very little people living there, it's not that much. So Israel is now a bit bigger. And we do have some African countries that have not been in the war. So if you guys want that, then tell me and I might do it if I like that country. So, or if there's way too much. Dude, that sucks. Dude, Azerbaijan, why'd you have to ruin this? Oh well, I guess I'll just try to remake this as good as I can. Let's just make sure Azerbaijan really, what is on here? Why are you turning black? Maybe if I... Oh, I have an idea. There we go. Oh, please, why is Azerbaijan annoying me so much? Now the Black Sea is trying to annoy me. Oh, well. Wait. Yes, it's working. Now, so... I'm gonna try to recreate this as... So how about we just go peek, peek. There, and now, because you guys are getting hit at all, I'm just gonna do neutral. Then I'm gonna start drawing the border as good as I can. And then, wait, no. Turkey is allowed to be Istanbul, I remember that now. And sorry for this waste of time, but it's so annoying. But I had a comment about this, about what app I use, and if you guys want to know, then write it in the comments. If I have like at least 3 comments that say it, then I will make a video on how to use it and that stuff. So Israel got around that much out of it. And don't forget to like and subscribe. This is the actual end of this video. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and there will be a part 6 very soon. No. And when I say very soon, I mean either tomorrow or in 2 days. No. Why is this so hard? So don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps my channel out, especially because this is a very beginning channel. Channel is just in its first stages. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in part 6.